Everybody is talking about the way you're feeling. Are you having doubts? Dancing longer as the nights grow cold. For love to last, it takes heart and soul. Now trouble with emotions, know what to say. Seconds turn to hours, hours turn to days. Tears upon a pillow, and my heart is filled with pain. For love is starting over, it'll never be the same. Now I'm all alone with a broken heart. Keeping everything right from the start. Heart and soul. Didn't even know how you tore my world apart. Didn't give enough heart and soul. Staring out your window as the rain turns to snow, like a rose in the water, hasn't let grow. Like the seasons always changing, you couldn't stand the test of time. Like a rhyme without a reason, made you change your mind. Now I'm on the road with a broken heart. Give you everything right from the start. Heart and soul. Don't even know how you tore my world apart. Didn't give enough heart and soul. Start. Heart and soul. Don't even know just how you tore my world apart.
Hello. It's Thursday. Sorry about Tuesday. I had to work. Couldn't get out of it. How you doing, Regina? Hello. It's Thursday. Sorry about
How about
Tuesday.
I turn off the other D Live? That would probably be a good idea, huh?
There we go. Now you don't have to hear me twice. Excuse me. Okay. Let's find the music. Boy, I raced to get up here today, so excuse me for being a little bit behind. Okay, don't forget it. We are 71 away from giving away 2 free t-shirts on D-Live. We get to 500. We're going to give away not one JJ Stoner large kids t-shirt, but we're going to give away a Winning TV t-shirt or a Speakeasy shirt or a Promises Kept shirt, whichever you prefer. Once we reach 500, we'll have run a little contest, and somebody will win 2 free t-shirts. But don't despair if you don't win a t-shirt when we reach 500 and have our contest. We are going to give away a t-shirt every 100 followers after that on D-Live. So head on over to D-Live, join D-Live. You don't have to stay there if you prefer Periscope. You don't have to stay over there if you prefer Periscope, but eventually, with the way the platforms are going, all of my videos keep getting deleted on YouTube. It's just a matter of time before Periscope follows suit, if you know what I mean. We've seen a lot of people deleted. Oh, let me fix myself up here. I got up here so late. Couldn't get anything done in time. 33 days to 8 more years. 33 days to 4 more years, unless there's some other way Trump can get in there for 4 more besides the 4. I'm going to do some darkness in New York State. If you can't tell by the title, New York State of Denial, but sometimes the truth is a good thing. So what's going on here in New York State? Okay. Breitbart News. Governor Andrew Cuomo offers to send National Guard to pick up New York City's garbage. Woo! Yeah! Now we've got the National Guard as garbage men in New York City. What do y'all think about that? Oh, what a great governor we have here in New York State. Oh. So the National Guard, I'm glad my nephew was in the National Guard. He would go up to Fort Drum. I'm glad he's not in that anymore, because right now he would be pissed having to go to New York City and pick up trash. I have to ask him what he thinks about that, because he does have quite a few friends that are still in the Army National Guard. So I'll have to see what he thinks about that. Or what they think about that now, because he still talks to them. He just got out. He was in it for quite a while. Yeah, Governor Cuomo is just... I've never seen anything like this guy. This is not all. We got more on Cuomo tonight. An unbelievable story that I just happened to pick up this morning. So I grabbed it right away, because I don't think it's hit really social media that hardly. I think that hard. I think Janice Dean picked up on it. But as far as I'm aware, nobody else has picked up on it. So let's continue on with the National Guard picking up trash in New York City. But New York City is doing great, by the way. I've got more on New York City. Don't you got to get the truth about New York City, because the media is telling everybody that New York State is fine. New York City has no issues. Everything's going swimmingly in New York City, in New York State. Well, the truth has to be told, because the media is not telling anybody in New York State what is actually going on. And this guy has a high... Andrew Cuomo has a high approval rating still, the last poll I saw, of how he's handled everything in New York State. But you're about to find out the real truth here tonight, because I picked up a few little-known stories, or at least I think they're little-known, because I didn't see a lot about this throughout the day. So, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, Democrat, of course, on Tuesday offered to send National Guard troops into New York City to collect mounting piles of garbage. Well, I don't know if anybody remembers the 70s. I remember a lot of stories about the 70s when I was a kid about how bad New York City was. Remember, I think Son of Sam was running around. I was little, very little. But I remember the garbage problem. My father used to have to go there for work every once in a while. And he said it was disgusting. So, he said there was piles of trash. Well, we're back to that again. Piles of trash. And you know what happens when you have piles of trash in a city? You get rats. Lots and lots of rats. And what do rats carry? All kinds of foul diseases. The garbage has been piling up all summer in New York City, and they have not laid off the sanitation crews. The economic fallout from the pandemic, the Chinese virus, resulted in $25 million cut from the sanitation department's budget. But wait a minute, you took $1.5 billion out of NYPD. So why did you have to cut $25 million out of sanitation? Where'd the $1.5 billion go? Of course, most people do know the story, at least we do here in upstate New York, about how the mayor's wife, they're still missing money in the tune of $1 billion. De Blasio's wife used $1 billion for something nobody knows what it is, and there's still no answers on where the money went. New York City caught $1.5 billion out of the NYPD, but still had to cut $25 million from the sanitation department. I don't get it. Well, obviously, we're going to get into some financial issues the city created on its own, and the governor of New York created. Didn't have to be this way. That meant 60% reduction in pickups of public trash baskets. Baskets were being emptied every day pre-pandemic. Now that may happen only 3 times a week. In a city as big as New York's, you're going to have a huge rat problem. Excuse me. That's right, Tracy Otto, rats. Last month, former New York City Sanitation Commissioner Catherine Garcia, who resigned to launch a mayoral bid, said the sanitation department had to cut back services amid the budget crunch. Garbage piling up, literally. People saying there's an odorous environment. Oh, God. That means it stinks like shit in New York City right now. Oh, imagine when the sun gets out. And, of course, I'm in upstate New York. It's a little cooler out here. But New York City is always a good 15, 20 degrees hotter. Oof. It's got to be rough. It's got to smell like a sewage plant right now. Odorous environment because of the garbage piling up. Cuomo said in a press conference, "I don't know what's going on in New York City." Does that sound like... It sounds just like James Comey. Do all of these guys have the same talking points? Oh, I don't know. I don't recall. I don't remember. He's the governor of New York. He's constantly in New York City. He ignores the rest of the state once he's elected. I don't know what's going on in New York City. I just can't believe this. no accountability from anybody at the top when it's a Democrat. If they can't do it, I have offered, this is a solution, to send in the National Guard to help pick up the garbage. We're going to use New York State's National Guard to pick up trash. How long are they going to stay there? Are they going to have to stay there for weeks and weeks and weeks? Because obviously the trash is just going to pile up again if you don't pick it up every day. That would be Gracie Mansion. So, New York City, take all of your trash to Gracie Mansion and dump it in front of the governor's mansion and say thank you. Because using our National Guard to pick up trash instead of stopping Manhattan from being destroyed by BLM rioters is just a genius move. Yes, National Guard, I want you to go to New York City and be trashmen. Sir, why didn't you use us to stop the riots in Manhattan? Those riots, well, those are just an idea. It's not really a riot. Those buildings being destroyed, businesses being looted, those are just ideas. That's a right-wing conspiracy. Now come and pick up my trash. Well, aren't we proud here in New York? We're using our military to pick up trash. The state can bring in trucks, personnel, and clean up the city. Wow. Why doesn't he get on the phone with the clown de Blasio and say, what the hell is going on? Why are the restaurants still closed? He could have done this weeks ago. Instead, he was writing his book about what a hero he is during the pandemic. I'm patting myself on the back, writing myself a book so I can make millions of dollars while I'm in office doing a shitty job. And killing all of our seniors. Yay! We got a little bit on that today. He spoke to a small town newspaper, and we got part of the interview. I think I got it on tape here somewhere. Pretty scary stuff. Where were we? Okay, the state can bring in trucks, personnel, and clean up the city. I think that would be important. You think? Since rats are going to overrun New York City? Do you think that's important? Is it important? We don't want rats to, just take over the city now, do we? I think that would be important. This is a public health pandemic. Cleanliness matters. Too late. If there's an odorous smell in New York City, meaning it smells horrible, it's got to be horrifying. If you got that much trash that you have to send in the National Guard to clean it up, it's a little too late to worry about cleanliness now, isn't it? We made millions of gallons of hand sanitizer, right? You're going to need a body sanitizer to walk the streets in New York City since there's so much trash. Great idea, by the way, by Kiana Claire about throwing that trash all in front of Gracie Mansion. Go for it. Give the governor of New York a nice thank you for the crap job he's done. And you know what? While you're at it, head over to the mayor's house and leave the trash there as well. I guarantee Cuomo's trash has been picked up every day. De Blasio's trash is probably picked up every single day. Cuomo remarks come after he said he's going to be sending in the National Guard, blah, 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 blah. These people are... This is what Democrat leadership looks like. A city falling to shreds. Nobody's talking about it in the media. Everybody's pretending New York City is completely fine. It's not. Obviously. If you're talking about sending in the National Guard to pick up trash in one city in New York, we've got problems. New York City is a ghost town. People, their number one building is at 30% capacity. That's it. 30% capacity. I believe it holds up to 10,000 people. And most of the businesses in that building have gone. They left. They're either working at home or left the state. Because how long can you keep your employees from going to work? Next one up, New York City. Oh, wait, I'm going to save this one for after this. The most important one. Oh, here we go. Here's one. This is New York City. They can't pick up their trash. They cut $1.5 billion from the New York City Police Department. Got rid of their anti-crime division. Got rid of their anti-crime division. And now de Blasio will have mask patrols. Mask patrols will find people refusing to wear a mask in New York City. Seriously. Mask patrols. Here we go. Come on.
Now over 3% after hovering just around 1% for many months. Now, the city is pointing to several hotspots which are driving the upticks. Many of them are predominantly Jewish neighborhoods. Here in Williamsburg, where many people just observe the high holy days, city officials say they are seeing the positivity rate climb at an alarming rate.
City workers in South Williamsburg armed with sanitizer and masks for the masses, trying to stem a new surge in COVID-19 cases.
We must address those intense.
Could it have anything to do with the odorous trash, the odorous stench of New York City now because of all the trash? Could it have anything to do with that?
We're going to talk about that. So for the first time in months, you're going to see a daily number over 3%. And obviously, everyone is concerned about that.
I care about my life, so I make sure I'm covered.
Melissa Herrera lives in South Williamsburg with her mother, who is at risk.
A lot of people don't wear masks or...
That's not a real mask, by the way, honey. And it's not covering your nose. So you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Your nose isn't covered. That's not a proper N95 mask, so it's not doing shit. But back here, we got some Hasidic Jews not wearing masks. Oh, man. That mask isn't doing anything. Look at it. It's not covering your nose. It's not a properly fitted mask. Anybody who's wearing these masks, it's a waste of your time. And of course, she's obviously adjusting it constantly to cover her nose. So guess what? The germs that are on your hands are now on your mask and in your nose. Congratulations. You look like an idiot.
Take precautions, you know?
There she is.
So it's not...
Holy cow, she just did it. She just touched her nose. What'd I tell you? She just did it. Let's see if she does it again.
I'm not saying it's only one kind of people. It's like a lot of people around this area. We have a lot of tourist people, you know, and they just don't, they don't really force it
She
around here
did
either.
it again. She just touched her mask again. This is a waste of time. Why bother wearing a mask if you're going to consistently touch it and it doesn't cover your face properly? This is an absolute joke. But guess what? We do have mask patrols.
Stores.
Now, Mayor de Blasio says the city will step up its enforcement.
Anyone who is not wearing a face covering will be offered one, will be reminded it is required, and anyone who refuses.
It's required by his order or the governor's order. It's actually not a law in New York State. Cuomo keeps saying it's the law to wear a mask. The legislature didn't pass a law. Sorry. Didn't pass a law. But they're going to force you to wear one now.
To wear a face covering will be told that if they don't put one on, they will be fined, and anyone who still refuses will be fined.
Denise.
You will be fined for not wearing a diaper on your face. But he can't pick up the trash in New York City. He can't stop the crime in New York City. But by God, I don't care if you're raped, mugged, had the crap kicked out of you, are swimming in bags and bags of trash and rats, you will wear that mask.
He says she hopes the new measures work.
We want to see it being cracked down. Yes, absolutely. Especially.
Yes, please take away my rights. Yes, please. I want it cracked down. I don't care about the shootings, the muggings, the rapes, the burglaries, the police being cut by $1.5 billion, the garbage that can't be picked up. We have to send the National Guard, the stench of New York City, the rats, the homelessness, businesses being torn to shreds by BLM rioters and Antifa. We don't care about that. Wear your damn mask. I want to crack down on mask violators. Aren't you concerned about the shootings and the rapes and the burglaries, ma'am? No, I want the mask violators punished with the strictest. I'd like to see the police kicking and beating them. Tasing them, please. These people live on planet. Excuse me, man. What planet are you from? Do you know New York City can't pick up its own trash, but we're hiring mask patrols?
Because I'm in that vulnerable state.
65-year-old Jacob Cohen is also in that high-risk age.
Stay inside. Order Uber Eats. Don't make everyone else wear a face diaper.
Group.
I'm Morty.
He wears a mask in public, but says others don't because of discomfort.
People are saying make problem to breathe.
The mayor is.
Notice the one person who is actually saying, people are having a problem breathing. They cut him off. This is our news today. We got to make sure we talk about mask patrols and putting a diaper on your face. But we're going to ignore the mounting piles of trash, the rats, the rapes, the murders, the shootings, businesses being destroyed and looted.
Is now threatening to shut down non-essential businesses as well.
He's going to shut down businesses again if you don't follow his face diaper rule. You got to love this. This is too many cities in America with mayors like this dope. And I blame, it's mostly the left in New York City. They hire these morons like de Blasio and Cuomo. The rest of New York State tried to get rid of Cuomo. New York City saved his ass. So when New York State goes bankrupt and the feds have to bail us out, it'll be Cuomo's fault. Of course, he won't take blame. He'll blame Trump and everybody else. It's all everybody else's fault. He's a hero of COVID, even though he killed 65% of the people in nursing homes. We're going to get into that a little bit here.
As well as private schools in these neighborhoods where the numbers are going up. He says he'll have to do that if there is not a reverse.
See, the numbers are going up. He's going to close down. He's threatening businesses. I'm going to close you down unless you follow my face diaper rule. Not a law. You follow my face diaper rule or I'm going to shut you down. Based on the numbers, which they're not telling you. The numbers have drastically increased. By what? 5? 10? 15? 20 cases in the size of New York City? We've seen this in Boogie Bumpers scopes about Australia, where they're shutting down an entire state based on 5 cases. You can't leave your house based on 5 cases. Is this the same scenario? The mayor says it's a drastic increase in the numbers, but they don't give you the numbers. So what are the numbers? Can you tell us? You Fox 5 reporter, what are the numbers? Can you give us some facts? Instead of useless interviews to promote the mayor's ridiculous laws and overreach of power by threatening businesses that they will be shut down again. This is insanity. And people are cheering for this like trained seals. They are cheering for it. You heard that woman. She wants him to enforce it. Oh, good grief. What is going on in America today? You've got people begging for governors and mayors to take away their freedoms. I never thought I'd see it get like this. 2 weeks has it turned into 8 months of hell with no end in sight. I just dropped the Discord link, so if you'd like to call in, I'll keep an eye on the Discord line. Yep. Let's see. What was next here? Oh, no, we don't want to do that stuff yet. Nope. The cream of wheat guy. Let's get rid of that. Trying to find the other one. Oh, yeah. Here's another one. New York Attorney General. This woman is insane. Okay? She is consumed all of her time with taking Donald Trump to court. This is all Letitia James works on, is taking Donald Trump to court. New York Attorney General, we should just ignore some arrest warrants. And we just heard Joe Biden at the debate blame Donald Trump for the increase in crime. Obviously, there was no crime during the Obama-Biden administration. Yet, New York State has gotten rid of bail for 289 different crimes. You've got a New York Attorney General saying that we should just ignore some arrest warrants. And they're trying to blame Donald Trump for the rise in crime in New York State and New York City especially? They're blaming Trump? You've got to be kidding me. New York Attorney General Letitia James has decided to make an example of the police shooting death of Alan Feliz in 2019 and use that as an excuse to push for a rather radical change in NYPD policy. Feliz was pulled over by an NYPD sergeant named Jonathan Rivera last October and provided someone else's ID, his brother's, when asked for his driver's license. The brother had some outstanding warrants for minor infractions. An altercation ensued, leading Feliz being shot and killed by the officer. Number one, okay? This guy was a dope that got killed by the cops. A complete jackass. He used someone else's ID, and then he fought with the cops. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. You were a complete idiot. You used someone else's ID. You fought with the police. And you got shot. This young gentleman obviously did not watch Chris Rock's video on how to talk to the police. So, based on that incident, Letitia James, who's constantly worried about suing Donald Trump, using that incident as an example, the AG now is recommending that officers no longer conduct arrests of individuals during traffic stops. Congratulations, New York State. You are completely screwed now. You've got a New York Attorney General telling the police not to arrest somebody who has an open warrant. What if that person has an open warrant for raping a 10-year-old kid? We just ignore it, right? What if that person has a warrant for raping multiple kids? If you're a cop at this point in New York State, or especially New York City, you're better off just getting the hell out of there. Go get a job in the Midwest or the center part of the country where people will have some respect for you. Preferably, in rural America or the suburbs. Why work there? You got a governor, a mayor, an attorney general. They're just going to shit all over you, no matter what you do. Are all cops good? No. Are there some bad cops? Yes. But this is getting out of control. They're letting hardened criminals roam the streets in New York City. As witnessed in our previous episodes, where a woman was raped, or just about raped, in broad daylight on a subway platform in New York City. A young boy was stabbed in the forehead with a spear-wielding, half-naked man in Times Square. So this is not like it's happening in the Queens or the Bronx or Brooklyn. This was in Times Square. A teenager was stabbed in the forehead by a spear-wielding, half-naked man. Yes, that was a true story. We've got piles of trash, rats, and the main concerns in New York City, beside the 166% increase in shootings, is that you wear your face diaper. If you want to wear one, that's up and fine. Wear one. If you're that scared of catching coronavirus, maybe you should stay home. And if you're that sickly and afraid of getting it, stay home. Get someone to deliver your food. A lot of people volunteer. Order Uber Eats. People will help you out if you're too sickly or have comorbidities to go outside. If you're that frightened. But I think New York City has major issues besides who's wearing a mask and who's not wearing a mask. So New York City Police Department will no longer be able to arrest people with active warrants when they make a traffic stop. Congratulations, New York City, you might as well just turn the nukes on yourself and get it over with. Because sometimes movies come to life. Remember Kurt Russell in Escape from New York? We're about to see that. They're going to put a wall around New York City and with guard towers and machine gun towers to make sure the criminals don't leave, because New York City is just going to be overrun with criminals, rats, and garbage. But as long as the criminals are wearing their masks, we're good. Hey, criminals, make sure you're wearing your mask. We want to make sure you got your mask on. Please wear your mask. We don't want to fine you. Oh, okay. Here is the one that is little talked about, little seen today. This is Andrew Cuomo.
And we never need.
This is Andrew Cuomo talking about the nursing home policy that he wrote. It's an executive order. I have it. He deleted it from the website. I have the executive order here. This is Andrew Cuomo talking to a smaller town in New York State about the nursing home policy, which he will not hand over any of the documentation regarding the nursing home policy to the Department of Justice. He has refused. They said they don't have the data together yet. It's going to take until after the election. Oh, really? I could have told you that the first day I saw that DOJ story, that DOJ wants New York State's nursing home policy and everything that happened surrounding that and the deaths and the information. I said it right then and there. He won't release that information until after the election. Because they all are praying Joe Biden wins. That's what they're doing. They're praying Joe Biden wins. So here he is.
And we never needed nursing home beds because we always had hospital beds.
That's a lie. He absolutely sent. See, this is the new Democrat Party. Just lie. Flat, bald-faced lie to the American public nonstop. Lie, lie, lie. We saw that in the debate Tuesday night. Joe Biden, or Wednesday night, or whatever the hell the night it was, I can't remember. Joe Biden nonstop lied through the entire debate. That's a fact. I mean, he just lied. Flat out lied. Cuomo is doing the same thing. Nancy Pelosi does it. They're all doing it now. James Comey, during his testimony in front of the Senate, could not recall. Don't remember. Can't recall. Don't remember. I don't recall that. This is the new strategy of the Democrat Party. Lie your face off. Don't tell the truth ever. Obstruct justice, hide material, delete material. That's what Cuomo's doing right now. They're just shredding away in Albany right now. He's got those shredders running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to destroy all the evidence. And when the DOJ comes in after the election, they are going to say, "Oh, those records are lost," or the server it got destroyed. Bill Barr should have come in with a damn SWAT team into Albany and raided the health department and taken all the files right then and there. Guess what? Too late now. You know this criminal has destroyed everything. That's why he's saying right now, he's telling you what they did. He's telling you they destroyed all the evidence. There's nothing you can do about it. He's telling you right now, oh, we didn't send people to nurse. Yes, they did. But guess what? The evidence of them doing it is gone now. Do you don't think all of these jackasses took a lesson from Hillary Clinton? She destroyed hard drives, just smashed phones, and got away with it. Nothing's going to happen to Hillary Clinton about the email scandal ever. Nothing. Nothing's going to happen. She's not going to be indicted. She's not going to be arrested on the email scandal, period. That's over with. This guy, you don't think this guy saw that? Why do you think he told the DOJ, we don't have the documentation, it won't be ready until after the election, like November 5th or 6th? Because those shredders and those hard drives are being wiped clean or destroyed. And what's the DOJ going to do to Andrew Cuomo and anybody else involved in doing it? Nothing. And he knows it. He knows it. If the DOJ was serious about getting down to business about the nursing home fiasco in New York State, they would have sent an army of DOJ personnel and FBI to Albany day one without telling this scumbag. Because now it's too late. He knows that evidence is gone, altered, or destroyed.
So it just never happened in New York.
There you go. I'm telling you, the evidence is gone. He got rid of it. It never happened. It never happened. I live here. It happened. It absolutely happened. The stories were horrifying. Go look on Twitter. Everybody who had a relative in a nursing home in New York State was horrified. But because the DOJ failed to act properly and this scumbag knew what Hillary did and got away with and is going to get away with and has always gotten away with, he did the same thing. I guarantee it. I told you about the story about nanotechnology, the entire Caballeros fiasco of SUNY IT, SUNY Nano. When they arrested Caballeros, who was in charge of all that money for corruption, the anti-corruption team that found all of this out, well, Caballeros happened to be a friend of Andrew Cuomo. And friends of Andrew Cuomo were caught up in the nanotechnology corruption scandal. Guess what happened to the anti-corruption task force? It was disbanded by him. Before it got close to this piece of shit, he disbanded the task force because too many of this scumbag's friends were caught up in the scandal, and it was billions of dollars that went missing. That's right. This is Henry St. George bumper politics. Why? That's right. Look what they're doing with the Russia investigation already. They're saying that was so 4 years ago. Who cares at this point? All we care about is the Russians are doing it again. Seriously? So, Andrew Cuomo has obviously gotten away with it again. Because if he had nothing to hide, then why did he tell the DOJ he couldn't give them the information until after the election. Well, now he knows that all the mess has been cleaned up. Now we can go on TV and say that never happened. It's all it's a right-wing conspiracy. Show me the evidence, is what he's going to say. And guess what? The evidence is now gone. Guaranteed.
Where we needed to say to a nursing home, we need you to take this person even though they're COVID positive. It never happened.
There you go. I'm telling you, this is how it's going to go down. This is how it went down with the nanotechnology money gone missing, all the corruption. People were arrested, and I believe they were. Kelly Eros was sent to prison. A good friend of Andrew Cuomo, and several other good friends of Andrew Cuomo. When it got close to this piece of shit, he disbanded the task force. Isn't that awesome? This guy is the biggest scumbag on the face of the earth next to the Clintons and Joe Biden. And the other moron out in California, Newsom.
We had extra beds. We had extra beds at Javits. We had extra beds at emergency hospitals that we put up all across the state.
That Trump put up. That Trump did for you. Notice how he skips that. He blamed Trump for all of his problems, but who put up Javits in the emergency centers in New York State? Donald Trump. But he says we. And then he tried, obviously he got rid of the nursing home information, So
it just never happened that we needed a nursing home to take a COVID positive person. It never happened. And we never needed nursing.
Go ask Janice Dean on Twitter and Tracy Belmonte. I think she is the other one that had her father died of COVID because COVID patients were put in with her father. Ask her if he's lying. Here is why is it so small? I hate Twitter. Here's the executive order. Anyway, his hospital discharges and admissions to nursing homes. It never happened. It never happened. This executive order by Andrew Cuomo on March 25th of 2020 has since been erased from the internet. Fortunately, the internet's forever and people grabbed it. It never happened. But it never happened. Here it is. The executive order. It's gone. Took it off the website. Got rid of it from every state website. It's hard to find on the internet. Unbelievable. We went through that one. We went through that one. I still can't believe. Anyway. This one from Evil Eric, I thought it was pretty funny. I wonder how many people were almost gonna be racist because of some awful person they saw on TV and thought, well, they aren't all bad. Look at the cream of wheat guy. He seems nice. I bet it's a large number. This guy is a hero for social justice, and he's being erased. They're getting rid of the cream of wheat guy. Why? I don't see anything racist about the cream of wheat guy. I mean, I like cream of wheat. I don't get it. We're gonna promote unity by erasing black people. We're promoting unity by we're going to erase the cream of wheat guy and Aunt Jemima and any black personality on a food product will be eradicated. Sounds like a good plan to me for diversity and social justice. Country's gone mad. Don't forget about our t-shirt contest. To get over to DLive, share it. We need 71 more followers, and I will be giving away 2 t-shirts, 1 large child's JJ Stoner t-shirt, and a shirt of your choice on the Winning TV store at Teespring. Yeah, they'll just have you can't have Oriental people on Oriental food. Just you can have no people on packages. Just the NPC gray guy, the gray body of the NPC. That's all you can have on a package from now on. Can't have a man, woman, child, nothing. They're gonna start doing this with clothing too. You watch. You ever see? You got the underwear package with the guy modeling the underwear. Well, that's, they're going to say that's racist. Or, we don't want that guy on there. What if I'm transsexual? That'll be next. So, at the Winning TV store on Teespring, you can have your choice of a Speakeasy shirt, a Winning TV shirt, or a Promises Kept shirt. Once we get to 500, we will run a little contest. Maybe I'll borrow the Boogie Bumper wheel. And we'll run the wheel because that seems a lot of fun. Or we'll do something like that. Okay, it's been about an hour. We're going to take a quick break here because I need something to drink. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Check out these cool ads.
Do you like your novelty comedy songs organic? Handmade with painstaking care, put into every note? Well, look no further than Irrational Times. Using only the finest instruments to create an experience that your ears will thank you for later. Irrational Times attempts to elevate the whimsy to a desirable level. New songs and sketches every week, so check it out.
Idiot booty bumper, idiot booty bumper, idiot booty bumper, idiot booty bumper, idiot booty bumper.
He's really giving that one a workout. Go on.
DLive.tv/JJ Stoner, and we love JJ here on the show.
It's the JJ Stoner Spring Collection, the perfect attire for any and every occasion you can think of this season. Like we were in the mosh pit full of sweat and everyone's slapping, hitting, and pulling on you. This shit won't riff! Lunch at your favorite cafe? Brunch with the girls? These stylish ensembles will give you the confidence you need to look and feel your best. Or if you're getting arrested for possession, it comes with a built-in police stick-proof body armor. Keep swinging, pigs! Call now, and your order will come with a complimentary ounce of that dankest bubblegum slurricane that the South has to offer. Don't forget the wall tapestry! If you need to cover your wall, it works!
Hello, my name is Frozen Asian, and I'd like to tell you about my show, The Sunday Night Shit Show, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Along with good conversations and laughing at funny and weird shit we find on the internet, we also have the Hat Cam, where I showcase my myriad of great-looking hats. Here is a testimonial from a great friend of mine who has enjoyed my hats lately.
I hope your next hat is a bullet. Jesus Christ, what are you, fucking Asian Dick Tracy? What's wrong with you? Why do you have to ruin my evening? Like, I was just gonna listen to my buds do their show, and you just gotta do that. You do the show without the hat.
So you're not enjoying it?
No.
Dude, Asian
come
Dick
on,
Tracy.
secretly enjoy it.
You look
No.
like you're going undercover in Argentina, but it's not working.
I hate you. I hate you. and I
Oh,
hate
come
your
on, you
stupid
secretly love it.
No, I openly hate it.
And there you have it. So, subscribe to the Sunday Night Shit Show at youtube.com/Sunday Night Shit Show. And hope to see you there on Sunday nights. Bye.
Feeling depressed? Need someone to tell you it's not okay? Do you like goth public access TV? Then join me for The Big Empty every Sunday at noon. Major_Tom on DLive with zeros for O's because everything in your life is that difficult.
There's a place that we can go to watch old things. All the warm, fuzzy member berries it brings. It's a special little spot tucked away on DLive. Enjoy the joy of Pepsi. Campy old movies and old cartoons. We hope to see you over there very soon. It's our special little spot tucked away on DLive. Enjoy the joy of Pepsi. When we were kids and there wasn't any school, we'd sit and watch all the best cartoons, eating cereal until it was noon. We never thought that 30 years later it'd still be cool. Saturday night and cheesy movies, the ones that used to show us boobies. It's our special little spot tucked away on DLive. Enjoy the joy of Pepsi. Enjoy the joy of Pepsi. Enjoy the joy of Pepsi.
This just in! The global officials that can help all, also known as Got You, have now banned all boogieing and boogie-related movements worldwide. Public safety is the main concern, they say, and people are reminded that boogieing is contagious. Anyone caught boogieing will be dealt with in the harshest terms police have reported. More at 11.
Sometimes this world can get you down. There's just one thing you can do. You gotta get back up and shake it all around. No one's gonna tell me how I'm gonna boogie. Come on, everybody, boogie bumper tonight. No one's gonna tell me how I'm gonna boogie. Come on, everybody, boogie bumper tonight. No one's gonna tell me how to boogie. Come on, everybody, boogie bumper tonight.
Most weeknights, join my good self UK Neil over at DLive for the Great Awakening show. That's over on DLive at dlive.tv/UK Neil. Get yourself out of that matrix and get over to the Great Awakening.
Join me, Rusty the Iceman, Sunday nights, 10:30 Standard Eastern Time on Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, and Facebook.
Hey, Patriots, this is your favorite Southerner, Doc Martin. Just wanted to remind you to put on your calendars to join me and your favorite ne'er-do-well Yankee, Phil D'Angelo, on Saturday nights, beginning with Promises Kept at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by The Speakeasy with all of your favorite Patriots. You never know what we might cuss and discuss.
That's right, Doc Martin. This is everybody's favorite Yankee, Phil D'Angelo speaking. And on Saturday night, we could have Kimmy, Wise Censored, affectionately known as Electrolux, the original Grandma,
Regina.
UK Neil, Rusty and his famous sound test
Periscope's
show,
got
Coffee
crabs.
Talk with Sandra, Earth Citizen, Stefan, the infamous Grandma series, Mac Daddy may even make a show up, or virtually anyone else in the world for some irrelevant fun.
Yankee, you mean some irreverent fun. So be sure to join us on Twitch, Periscope, D-Live, or YouTube.
That's right, Doc. Follow us at Winning TV on all of those channels.
So be sure and put it on your calendar. We'll be looking for you. We'll leave the porch light on.
I still think it's irrelevant fun.
But why are you farming for coins when you have a heavy bag?
Okay, we're back. I don't know. Let's do the ballot thing first because this is getting irritating. Just one after another. I'm collecting story after story after story. Might have to do a super long stream on a weekend. Maybe get a few people on, Doc Martin, or maybe somebody to go through all of this because I'm just collecting piles of information. But we'll do the James O'Keefe.
James O'Keefe
video
here in downtown
first.
Minneapolis at the scene of the crime. The person you're about to meet, Liban Mohammed,
I'm sure most of you have already seen this, but we'll run through this quick because I keep hearing that James O'Keefe is a right-winger. He's funded by the right, blah, 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 blah. He's doctored these videos. So I have not James O'Keefe, but other videos to show you and other articles to show you that is just not a right-wing conspiracy. And if this James O'Keefe story is true and they truly do investigate this, the FBI, I think it's Minneapolis PD right now. But if it's truly investigated and he has full video evidence to give them, this story could be huge, and James O'Keefe could be actually considered a more legitimate reporter than 99% of the mainstream media.
aka King Liban 1, boasts about the hundreds of absentee ballots in his car.
Numbers don't lie. Waa ujeedaan gaarigaygu waa buuxaa. Waxaas waa absent ballot salka yaala. Soo ma jeedin. Fiiri, waxaas oo dhan soo ma jeedin. Waa buuxaa gaarigaygu. Waa buuxa yaala. Waxaas kulli waa Jamaal Cusmaan way. Fiiri. 300 clear maanta soo dhacday oo Jamaal Cusmaan. Yeah.
There was video. You can see the video. There was a video out and about that he has the ballots in his car. Right. And talking about the only way you can win is with money. I was looking at them and they were not filled. They were blank.
Who is the one filling out the absentee ballots? People who work with, like Ilhan Omar. Where do they pay the money? The minute we sign the thing, the election, that's what you get paid.
Money is everything. Money is the key in this world. If you ain't got money, you should not be here, period.
Marka odayaasha waa loo codsadaa. Waana laga qaadaa.
At the end of this street,
Yes.
there's 3 towers called one house.
Okay.
And it's all seniors, and they took every ballot.
Every ballot. They just take
Every
them from
single
them.
ballot. They knock on the door and say, your ballots, come give it to me, give it to me.
They don't even pay them for it. They just take them.
No. And the ones that didn't vote on ballots, the young people and the women and stuff, they were paying cash. They were getting bags of money the last 1 week here to drive people. So there's a vested interest, but we are victims of the system. They don't give a shit about any Somali.
2 in the morning, still hustling.
Who is the one filling out the absentee ballots? People who work with, like Ilhan Omar and other candidates who work for them. They came to us, to our apartments. They tell us that this year you're going to go for it. You don't go nowhere, you stay home. We will tell you fill out for your absentee ballot. When it comes, we'll come and get it. You just don't go nowhere, you stay here. So they fill out for us.
So the excuses are already starting. It's can't be happening because, James O'Keefe, right? Can't be true. He doctored the video. He edited it selectively, right? True Pundit, shocked and panicked. New Yorkers receive invalid ballots with wrong names, addresses, sparking confusion. How many of these ballots that went out are going to be filled out and sent back? How many of these ballots in New York City will be sent back? New York City residents have reported receiving ballots with wrong information, sparking confusion and a response from the City Board of Elections Department. Yeah, okay. Multiple voters who lived in Brooklyn have reported errors, including a wrong name on their ballot envelope, which would invalidate their ballots, according to Gothamist. Oh, I wonder how many of them are Republicans. They love to do that. Oops. Well, it's too late now. The error was due to an outside vendor error. Who is the company? I'd like to find out who is the outside vendor that did this. Okay. I bet you can trace it back to one guy with an S in his last name, 2 S's. The error was due to an outside vendor error, the New York City Board of Elections said Monday in a tweet instructing residents on what steps to take if they encounter the error. Regina, what are you asking? Periscope has gone bat crazy, but it looks like it's all good on my end, if that's what you're asking. I got my New York mail-in ballot today, and the security envelope I'm supposed to put it in and sign has some other guy's name on it and address on it. Nathan McDermott, a CNN reporter and Brooklyn resident, tweeted Monday. He added, I'm a political journalist, so I pay a bit more attention. But what about the people who didn't pay attention, filled out their ballot, and sent it back? Right? What's going to happen to their ballots? Interesting. So most voters aren't going to pay attention. They're just going to stick it in the envelope and send it back. They're not telling us in this article, okay, the Board of Elections doesn't know the extent of the issue. Oh boy, that's bad. The department's executive director, Michael Ryan, said in a statement to the Daily Caller News Foundation about 500,000 ballots have already been sent to New York City voters. 500,000 ballots. This could be bad. Very bad. This could be very, very bad. But it's just a right-wing conspiracy, right? Voter fraud doesn't happen. It's not widespread. It's got to be widespread to be voter fraud, right? DJHJ Media. It must be a right-wing conspiracy theory site. North Carolina, sorry. New York City on the brain tonight after all the garbage and rats. North Carolina senator explains the left's corrupt ballot harvesting scheme that might trigger a civil rights case with AG Barr. Top Republican North Carolina State Senator Phil Berger wrote on Medium his point of view about the collusion that caused the Lieutenant Governor Dan Forest to reach out to U.S. Attorney Bill Barr last week. They forgot the T. And ask for an investigation into possible collusion between numerous high-ranking Democrats and Democrat-led changes in election laws. This is the thing, okay? Ballot harvesting, changes in election laws at the last minute because they know Joe's not winning. They know Joe can't win. So they're going to cheat their asses off to do it. We just heard video of Andrew Cuomo flat out lie about the nursing home, care home, or whatever you want to call it, policy in New York State. Well, here they are again. High-ranking Democrats get the laws changed. Actually, I don't even think they're even voting on these changes to the law. They're just creating them out of thin air. Unbelievable. Democrat-led changes in the election laws frustrating people since the state has already started voting in 2020 presidential election. So they're changing the rules after people started voting already. President Donald Trump's administration should launch an investigation into proposed change in North Carolina. I think a federal judge has stopped this. I think I caught it today where a federal judge said, no, you can't do this. People already started voting. This is way too close to the election. You can't change the rules now. Let me see if it's been updated. It hasn't been updated, but they wanted people to drop ballots in anonymous, eliminate witness requirements, permit anonymous outdoor absentee ballot box. Oh God, that's like an ATM with the key with the door unlocked. Yeah, put your ballot in here. We'll take care of it for you. Oh, it's like leaving your checkbook out in the middle of the mall and trusting people won't touch it. Okay. Extend the time period in which an absentee ballot can be received by the board to 9 days after the election. This is how the cheat is going to happen. They are going to keep voting until Joe wins. This is what they're going to do. They're telling you. Hey, Monica over in YouTube. That's rare, a YouTuber watching. Usually my videos are blocked almost immediately. Yeah, that's what the plan is. Most of these states are extending voting well past the election day. Because this is Michigan. Yes, DNC chair. Joe is still down 900,000 votes. What do we do? Keep printing ballots. Okay. Joe is halfway there. What do we do? Keep doing it. Keep printing ballots and keep filling them out. 2 weeks after the election, Joe Biden wins Michigan. Joe Biden mysteriously wins Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. But that's just a right-wing conspiracy theory because James O'Keefe exposed it, right? Here's another one from the National File. Biden's Texas political director accused of illegal ballot harvesting at Texas Supreme Court. Oh, But I thought the elections are secure. Wait a minute. Didn't Joe just say something about that at the debate? So Joe doesn't know that his political director in Texas is accused of illegal ballot harvesting. Joe Biden, running for president, has no clue that his political director is accused, or was he lying yet again at the debate about how the election and mail-in voting is perfectly secure? There's nothing to see here. He knows the cheat's in on that. Joe Biden, oh, I don't want to subscribe, sorry. Joe Biden campaign's Texas political director has been formally accused of helping to run an illegal ballot harvesting operation, according to two separate affidavits filed Monday at the Texas Supreme Court. Two private investigators, including a former FBI agent and a former police officer, testify under oath that they have video evidence, documentation, and witnesses to prove that Biden, Joe Biden, his Texas political director, Dallas Jones, and his cohorts, are currently hoarding mail-in and absentee ballots and ordering operatives to fill out ballots. Exactly! That's what the plan is! To just keep filling out ballots until they have enough ballots to win. Remember what I think it's Joseph Stalin said? It's not who votes, it's who's counting the votes. Right? It's not about who's voting, it's about who's counting the votes. They are filling out ballots illegally, including for dead people. It's just a right-wing conspiracy theory. Congratulations. It's James O'Keefe. It can't be real. Homeless people and nursing home residents in the 2020 presidential election. This is why they keep saying, we're going to win Texas. We're going to win Texas. Their own political director is filling out hundreds of thousands of ballots. Gotta be kidding me. This was all taken to the Texas Supreme Court. The affidavits were filed as part of the class action lawsuit against Harris County and the state of Texas, filed by citizens called Stephen Holtz, MD, et al. Journal's Patrick Hawley of National File has exclusively obtained this testimony, and much more evidence will be coming out in the case. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Let me see if there's any updates. Like I said, I'd like to go through all of these. I mean, there's an extensive amount of material from multiple sources about voter fraud. The Texas Supreme Court dismissed the lawsuit, but the audio tapes have been made. Oh, this is some different story. This is a different story. There's so many ballot harvesting stories right now. You can't keep up with them. I'm gathering them all up. I'm probably going to do an extended weekend show with somebody and start going through all of these stories. And this is the plan. It's obvious, but you got to get it out to everybody that they're going to steal this election. They're going to do everything they can to steal the election. Fox 5, Washington, D.C., nearly 1,400 Virginia voters got 2 ballots in the mail. It's just like one after another. One story after another. But it's James O'Keefe, right? So it can't be real. He's a right-wing conspiracy theorist. He doctors videos, man. Yeah, man. James O'Keefe is paid by the right, probably the Koch brother that's still alive, man. But the media keeps saying it's not widespread, so therefore there's no fraud going on. But if there's enough fraud in the correct places, Biden wins. Right? It's got to be in the correct places, Biden wins. Doesn't have to be every state in the union. That would be too damn obvious. It's going to be Pennsylvania, Michigan. Look at the states that have extended voting well beyond Election Day. North Carolina, which has been blocked, by the way. Pennsylvania, I believe that's been blocked by a federal judge. They tried to go 2 weeks after the election. They're just going to keep filling out these freaking ballots until they have enough to win in those states. That's their strategy. Joe stinks. Everybody knows Joe stinks. He's terrible. This guy can barely stand erect. He can't put an intelligible sentence together. He's not coherent. He's not all there. They know he can't win. The only way they can win is to cheat, install him. He steps aside, and it's the Harris administration. Exactly, Monica and YouTube. It doesn't take much to make a humongous difference. If you got enough ballots in Pennsylvania and Michigan, that could throw the race right there. Just 2 states, and Trump can lose. And look at Minnesota. Trump is doing very well in Minnesota, but he still might lose by a lot because of the ballot harvesting scam in Minnesota. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. The National Pulse. Are they making me say yes? Is mail-in ballot fraud real? Evidence says yes. Evidence from countries that use mail-in or postal votes points to widespread abuse as Democrats in the United States seek to expand the process, piggybacking off the coronavirus pandemic to deliver on their goal of a less secure election. That's why they keep talking about the second wave. Oh, look, we got a spike in New York City. We got spikes in New York City. We've got spikes over here. Oh, California has a couple of coronavirus spikes. Michigan will have some now. Pennsylvania will have a bunch of spikes, and they're going to keep pushing this mail-in ballot so they can win. This is third world country bullcrap they're pulling. This is banana republic garbage that they're pulling. As of August, at least 3/4 of Americans were eligible to vote by mail. 80 million. How many voted in the last election? About 130? President Trump recently cited in the New York Times number of 80 million ballots, which will flood election offices this fall. A lot of them will get thrown out or destroyed, depending on who they voted for. This is got to really go. I'm gonna get a show together on the weekend and go through all of this. There's so much of it. Here's another one. Today, me and my roommates, this is a tweet. I keep seeing these tweets too. It's disturbing how many of these tweets we're seeing. Where's Bill Barr? Where is he? What's he doing? What's he doing? What's Bill Barr and the DOJ doing? Where's the FBI? Where's Trust Ray? Where is he? Today, I've seen hundreds of these tweets in the last couple of weeks, by the way, and I know everybody else has. Today, me and my roommates received 2 official ballots for people who don't live here. What could go wrong? I keep seeing these constantly. This needs to stop. Bill Barr needs to do his job. Get off his ass and do something. Stop. He just needs to stop doing whatever the hell he's doing now, going on interviews and doing talk shows, and get to work on this, because this is beyond. Gonna lose this election. I'm telling you, this is getting scary now. This fraud issue is bad. It's beyond bad. Oh, gee, here's a nice video for you. By the way, the U.S. Postal Service has endorsed Joe Biden. That's who's delivering your ballots, by the way. Nancy Pelosi made that big stink, right, about the Postal Service getting bailed out. They didn't need a bailout, but she made a big deal about that. Why? Democrats are on your side, postal workers. We want to give you money, U.S. postal workers. We want to give you money. By the way, you're going to be handling all the mail-in ballots. Hello? Did anybody think about that? Why was Nancy Pelosi pushing so hard to give the Postal Service billions of dollars? Now, the Postal Workers Union gives Joe Biden their endorsement. Are you scared now? Are you scared now? Because if you're not, you should be. You should be scared to death that the cheat is in. They're working their asses off not to get voters, to create voters with their pen. And a couple 100,000 volunteers across the country filling in ballots for them. They've got the means of delivery now, the Postal Service, right? They've got the means of delivery. Well, Nancy did that for Joe. This was all planned out. They planned on doing this for a long time. They planned this. They planned this out to a T. When she started going on and on about how the post office needed billions of dollars, the first thought that popped in my head was, interesting timing. And then came out the mail-in ballot bullshit. Who got blamed for the post office not getting their billions of dollars in free money? The Republicans. Post office turns around, union endorses Biden. Mail-in ballots. That's like giving all the Republican ballots to a friend of Joe Biden and trusting that friend will do the right thing. Yeah, the post office didn't need the money. So why did Nancy bring that up? She brought that up to get their backing. She's not dumb. People always say Nancy's just stupid, she's a drunk. No, she's not. She's cleverly evil in a political sense. She thought that they thought this out all for a long time, what they were going to do. The post office didn't need money, but Nancy made a big issue about that. Where did that issue go now? It's gone, right? They got the endorsement. She's an evil genius when it comes to politics. She used that money, dangled it over the post office's head, said, I want to give you billions of dollars, post office, but the evil Republicans won't let me give it to you. Now the issue's gone. She hasn't mentioned. Have you heard a word on the news about the post office and how they're struggling and how they need money so badly? Have you heard a word about it? Anybody out there heard a word about how the post office desperately needs money right now. I haven't heard about it for, the last 2 or 3 weeks now. It disappeared. Story's gone. She got what she wanted. She wanted their endorsement of Joe Biden. All the postal workers are going, fuck the Republicans. They wouldn't give us the billions of dollars. Nancy wanted to. You've got the means of delivery. You've got the mail-in ballots. You've got ballot harvesting. You've got people being allowed to vote well after the election's over. And you've got the means of delivery. Everybody should be shitting their pants right now. This is why Trump, I gotta imagine that Trump knows what's going on with this. Because if I can see it, the Republicans know what's going on. If I can see it, Trump's gotta be able to see what they're doing. This is why Amy Coney Barrett has to be confirmed before Election Day. And they're going to, I hope they push hard. And Graham doesn't play any games. If the Democrats don't want to come to the hearings, forego the hearings, push her nomination to the floor and vote. And just say the Democrats wouldn't even talk to her. We're gonna just go ahead. We know her. We're fine. Push it through. Because she's got to be on that court before Election Day. Because all hell is going to break loose. Nancy Pelosi is preparing to have enough delegations in Congress that she decides who the president will be. You do know that, right? It's constitutional. This is why they did this. This is why they schemed this entire mail-in ballot harvesting scam. And this is why they hatched the post office needs money scam. Makes sense to you now? The post office needed money even though they didn't need money. She dangled billions of dollars over the post office's heads. Republicans refused. She tells the post office, I wanted to give you the money. Story goes away. Post office endorses Biden. The union endorses Biden. Now you have the means of delivery. Isn't that awesome? That's just, I don't like Nancy Pelosi. I can't stand that biatch. But this was brilliant on their part. If you're going to cheat, do a good job of it. And she's doing a great job of cheating right now. This is exactly what she's doing. I can tell because that post office story disappeared. It's gone. Once they got the endorsement, they didn't care about giving the billions of dollars to the post office anymore. It's over. That's why you're going to need the Supreme Court. The Democrats have the means of delivery of the ballots. They are taking over on ballot harvesting. The Republicans and the Trump team are registering voters the way you're supposed to do it. They're working hard. They've got way more registered voters in Florida now than the Democrats do. But it doesn't matter because the Democrats have the ballots. They don't need the voters. They have the ballots. Right? Exactly, Monica. The means of delivery is now theirs. They have the ballots. They don't have a ground game, the Democrats. And I wondered why. Because the Democrat Party, in all of my years of watching politics, has a phenomenal ground game. Trump is kicking their asses on the ground game. Why? How did that happen? The Democrats have always had a top-notch ground game. It's gone. It's non-existent. Democrats aren't even talking about registering voters. Why? Why? The Trump has a ground game that's never seen before in this country. And the Democrats fell asleep at the wheel all of a sudden? No, because they don't need a ground game now. They have the means of delivery and they have the ballots in hand. There you go. Monica, perfect. They have the test and the answers. Right now, they have the test and the answers. And you know what? Quite frankly, in all the scopes I've watched, no one's brought this up. That I know of. All right. Now, if you saw a scope that somebody brought it up, that's great. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I started putting the puzzle together pretty quickly here in the last couple of days. I was going to tell everybody on Tuesday, but last week, actually, last Tuesday, but I had to work late. They have everything sewn up in their eyes. That's why they have no ground game. Monica, you've probably heard about the historic ground game of the Democrats. Nobody's talking about it this year. I noticed that. The media always praises the Democrat Party for their ground game. The Democrats, they have a top-notch ground game. They register voters, blah, blah. Haven't heard a thing about it. Why do you need a ground game? Why spend the money on a ground game when you have the means of delivery and the ballots in hand? You don't need a ground game. All you need is a few people to fill out these damn ballots. This is the first year of following politics that the Democrats are not in this area trying to register Democrat voters. It's the first time. And all I keep seeing on Twitter, and even the fake news is reporting Trump's tremendous ground game. Scott Pressler's out there, just registered more voters. We registered 1,000 more Republicans. Nothing from the Democrats. Crickets. That's never seen before with the Democrat Party. Yeah, and that's, Monica, that's exactly right, Monica. And when is the last time that you heard of the Democrat Party not having a solid ground game? That's all CNN, MSNBC, even Fox News talks about historically. Go back and look through elections. They've historically talked about the powerhouse of the Democrat ground game. That the Republicans have never been able to match the Democrat ground game. Even AOC's not even doing, go out and register to vote. No, she's just saying vote. They've always said register to vote. Because they know, they flat out know they've got the means of delivery and the ballots in hand. Everybody should be very worried. And I'm just telling you, where is Bill Barr? Where the hell is he? If a little old me who repairs, although I did work fraud for 16 years, so that, some fraud cases and found some big fraud rings. I can see this. Most people, if you step back and look at it from 100 feet away, you go, wait a minute, okay, why were they doing this? Why would... It started with me when Nancy started pushing so hard for the money for the post office. Now that's a non-story. She doesn't give a rat's ass about the post office getting billions of dollars right now. She hasn't even mentioned it. None of them have mentioned it. Remember, it was all the rage every day. Republicans are blocking billions of dollars that the post office needs. They gotta have that money. Haven't heard a word about it. Yeah. We should all be worried. And they're blocking in Philadelphia Trump poll watchers. They're absolutely refusing Trump's poll watchers. Why? Philadelphia is a Democrat city. We should all be stressed about this. I'm waiting for We'll see what happens in Minneapolis. Hopefully something happens quickly. Although I'm not hopeful anymore about that. But where is Bill Barr? What's the FBI doing about this? Here's some video, and we're seeing more and more of this too. There's a U.S. postal truck. Somebody pulls up next to it and robs all the mail. Look at this. Right in broad daylight. Opens up the mail truck, starts loading up his car. Throwing boxes of mail in his car. How many ballots are in that mail truck right now? I lived in Wilmington, Delaware, and quite frankly, I caught a guy stealing everybody's mail on the entire block. Yes, right, Monica. I've seen those videos too and photos of people of mail just piled up on the side of the road in ravines. Guy throwing the mail into a dumpster. But I caught a guy stealing all of the neighbors' mail in my neighborhood. I happened to be home that day. I think I was on vacation or something. And all of a sudden I heard somebody coming in the door and opening up all the mailboxes. Usually you hear somebody come in, open up their mailbox. I happen to live on the first floor. And I hear all the boxes opening. I said, what the hell? So I went out. And there is a gentleman standing there. He's got a backpack full of mail from all of the neighbors. And he's taking everybody's mail and throwing it in his bag. I opened up the door. It had a big glass window. And I went to grab him and he slammed the door. My hand went right through the glass. My arm was shredded up. It was bleeding all over. But I chased him for about 2 miles. I caught him in a backyard. And 2 big black dudes, because this kid was a small black kid, came up and gave me a hard time. He threw the bag of mail over the wall. I told these guys, look, he stole everybody's mail. I mean, what the fuck? My paycheck might be in that bag. So happened there were Social Security checks back then. One of the people in my building, his check was in the bag. I ran across the highway, not looking back at it. I probably could have gotten hit by a car. I was so pissed off at that point. Chasing him. I was furious. I went right over the median, right through the 2-lane highway, which is busy in Wilmington, in downtown. And I wish I could have gotten my hands. You know what the cops did? Nothing. They didn't give a shit. That's federal. I'm like, are you kidding me? This kid just stole Social Security checks. And if there were ballots, it would have been ballots. We're seeing too many of these videos now, too. Well, we'll give you a couple videos here quick, and then I'll give you one happy video. I'm not too keen on the parody videos, but I'll give you 2 happy videos here about the debate and the Biden deflection here.
Have you ever heard this president say one negative thing about white supremacists?
And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay?
Have you ever heard it?
Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs. including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans.
Have you ever heard this president say one negative thing about white supremacists? Have you ever heard it?
In one voice, our nation must condemn racism, bigotry, and white supremacy.
Have you ever heard this president say one negative thing about white supremacists? Have you ever heard it? Have you ever heard?
Yeah, they are hammering the president on this right now, but I've got some friends that are Democrats that are saying, yeah, that's bullshit because we've heard them. We've heard them do it. So all of this is not helping Biden, trust me. They think it's helping Biden. Well, he should have just said it. He said it how many times now? That was a plant question by Chris Wallace. Sorry, that was shitty moderating. It was terrible. It was biased. It was bullshit. It was unnecessary. I can come up with 1,000 words to call it, but Chris Wallace is a piece of shit. Okay? Trump has done this. I don't. You know, he was probably taken aback by it. By like, what? Why are you bringing this up again? But I've got a couple of Democrat friends that said, yeah, that was bullshit because we've heard him say it. He doesn't have to say it again. You know, it's getting. This is becoming overkill on this. So that's a happy note. But I'll give you your. I'll give you your parody song here, and we'll end the show with that. But before I give you the parody song, don't forget, on D-Live, we have the t-shirt contest. We get the 500 on D-Live. I'm going to give away 2 t-shirts, the large child's JJ Stoner Midget Wednesday shirt, and a shirt from the Winning TV store, either a Speakeasy shirt, a Winning TV shirt, or a Promises Kept shirt. And then we'll do a contest to see who gets the shirts. And then after that, every 100 followers on D-Live, we will give away another shirt. So, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Not many people. I don't know what happened tonight, but that's okay. Usually there's a decent crowd, but something must be going on tonight. Don't forget to catch all the people in the ad block there. JJ Stoner, Major Tom, Iceman 4433, Sunday Night Shit Show, Boogie Bumper, of course. And, oh, thank you, Monica. Boogie Bumper, Irrational Times, the great Irrational Times. I'm doing a little thing for him in his fight with, I can't remember his name, Raul or whatever it was. On D-Live. He likes to joke around, but this guy got really pissed. It was kind of funny. You didn't get the memo either? What memo? Henry St. George Tucker Bumper, why? Politics, why? Oh, that's the longest name on D-Live. Oh, you're welcome. All right, so let's do the... I hate parodies. Everybody, I think, knows I hate them, but I'll play it for you. You guys, because after all that horrifying news on the fraud that we will experience, and we're in for the fight of our lives, because here's my prediction. Trump is probably going to win in a landslide on election night, and then for weeks... they're going to find hundreds of thousands of Biden ballots. Guaranteed. So get ready for the fight of your lives because it's coming. And we'll see. Forgot my own shows on Saturday with Doc Martin on Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Promises Kept. And at 9, the Speakeasy Show. I forgot all about it. So here's a little parody for you. Enjoy it. Oh, don't forget our friend UK Neil too. And Kimmy Y Censored is on tonight with Angst and Giggles. Sandra, Coffee Talk with Sandra. Jeez, there are so many of them. Joya Pesci. There's so many of them, I forget them all. If I forgot somebody, I apologize. We'll get them all in on Saturday. Here you go. This ought to pump you up and make you a little happier.
Young man, walk away from the hate. We're all human, and we don't segregate.
Just like women, how make America great.
We are all in this together. Our colors are red, white, and blue, and they stand for every one of you. And together, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make America great. Woo! Everybody sing M-A-G-A. M-A-G-A. Let them hear our voice, all you girls and boys. Stand up and make some noise. M-A-G-A. Everybody. M-A-G-A. The American crowd, patriotic and proud. Shout it out loud. That's why when it comes time to vote, just remember we're all in the same boat. We're together, we're united folks, and we won't let them divide us. Young men, walk away from the hate. We're all human, and we don't segregate. Just like women, how make America great. We are all in this together. Everybody sing M-A-G-A. M-A-G-A. Black, white, and brown, from every city and town. We don't let haters keep us down. M-A-G-A. Everybody. M-A-G-A. The American crowd, patriotic and proud. Shout it out loud. M-A-G-A. M-A-G-A. Let them hear our voice, all you girls and boys. Stand up and make some noise. M-A-G-A. Everybody. The American crowd, patriotic and proud. Shout it out loud. M-A-G-A.
All right, guys, there's your parody song. Rusty Iceman 4433, thank you for the diamond, sir. Appreciate it. I will open the chest on Saturday night. We'll let it build up a little bit before we release those slippery little lemons so that you guys get a little bit better payout. That means you got to come back on Saturday. Don't forget to share this out and my little theory about the voter fraud scam going on with the ballots and the post office. I think some people would be interested in that. So share it out. We'll see you Saturday night. Don't forget about the t-shirt contest. I'll put it up on BitChute too tomorrow. So we'll see you on Saturday. And Iceman 4433 will be there as well on Saturday night, more than likely. So thank you for the Diamond Iceman again. We'll see you guys on Saturday. Thank you. Have a good night. It'll be up on BitChute. Share. Get us to 500 so we can give away those t-shirts. Talk to you guys later. on, man. Good night, Monica. Good night, Henry St. George Tucker Bumper Wise. Politics Wise. Thank you, Monica. I thought 24 lemons wasn't enough to give away. Come on, man. You ain't black.
You know what happened in the evening when you started to fade away. Now my heart says you're leaving.
Would you just shut up?
I hope to see you again someday. Why did it have to happen? Why did it end this way? You know I miss you every moment. Doesn't matter if it's night. Doesn't matter if it's day. I can't stop the pain inside. This is a mess.
You're just a clown.
Who's to say it's wrong or right?